Today, Style Tramps is headed to the Hartford, Connecticut area to seek out inspiration. Our journey starts off in Berlin, Connecticut, home of Tracy and Co. We're here today to meet my good friend and fellow hairstylist, Anthony Quatrappani. Since 1993, both Anthony and his beautiful wife, Tracy, have been making Berlin, Connecticut a more beautiful place to both live and work. Anthony and I share a passion for all things travel, all things hair, and all those little details that separate the good from the great. Let's sit down with Anthony and see how these small town inspirations create such a talented, wonderful hairstylist. My first stop, Daybreak Coffee Roasters in Glastonbury, Connecticut. Daybreak is known for its fresh, high-quality, organic coffee. Good food, good service. So what makes Daybreak such a household name in Glastonbury? They roast all their beans to perfection in-house.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
So guys, I'm here with one of my main man's pots and pans, Anthony Quatrappani. How long have we known each other?
I have no idea. Right? quite a while.
It's been that long, right?
8 years.
Yeah, man, we worked together for a long time, and I really want to see what inspires you here, because I'm sure it's going to have that same effect on me. So anybody who knows you love bikes.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're going to Toast Performance, right?
Dan's a good buddy of mine, and he is also into all the fine little details, and he does the R&D, and he tests all his products, and he just makes that place happen.
So that's really really cool. I'm excited to see how we can really use that inspiration from a performance shop, you know, and see if we can somehow tie that to hair.
Me too.
Where else are we going besides Toast Performance?
We're going to Hartford Denim. They have a lot of really cool vintage machines that they make their product on, which is just some of those other little annoying details that maybe somebody may or may not care about. I think is really cool, and there was just a lot of cool things to look at in their shop.
I'm just so amazed that there's people still doing things the way they used to, and they're passionate about jeans just the same way we're passionate about hair. So I'm excited to meet those guys. I'm excited to get on this little journey today, you know, style tramping around town, see what's up, see who we can meet, and see what inspiration we can find. So you ready to meet Carmelo?
Yeah, let's go chat with Carmelo. Cool, man. Right on.
Anthony, how are you?
Wow, man. Good.
How's everything? Good?
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
What's up, Carmelo and Colin?
Colin, nice to meet you. This is the heart of Daybreak. I mean, all the roasting gets done here. I try to do it in micro batches so it's always fresh. And you may even get special requests sometimes, and people will come in and ask for certain ones, and you know, I'll do it up for them. And I think that's what makes it personal. I think that's what makes it unique.
Well, that's kind of what the whole point of this whole thing is. We know there's art in every single corner of the world, and as artists, we're constantly searching for it. Right. And we know the guys that do things just that little extra, roasting their own coffee, whatever it is, that's the details that we're searching for. How does this machine exactly work?
So the roasting gets done on the upper chamber, and as soon as it gets to the point where I really am ready, that it's the color I want and the perfection that I want, it'll get put into the cooling tray. The cooling tray at that point will try to cool it off as fast as possible, which is the key.
It's amazing. I mean, people love to be part of the process, and a lot of times I feel we hide that process, and we should celebrate it.
No, absolutely. Craftsmen, they're going away. We need to kind of keep that going. We need to really show people that we're good with our hands, and you know, it's still alive. You definitely have to have heart into whatever you're doing. But mostly, I think it comes down to that satisfaction of once you've done something and it's excellent, beautiful, whatever it may be, it's when you hand it over to that other person and you get that satisfaction. It's amazing. Whether you're cutting hair and you're showing that masterpiece to somebody, or you know, making coffee and somebody comes up to you and says, that was the most amazing cup of coffee I ever had. Basics. It's wonderful. That's why we do it.
So yeah, thanks so much for having us, man. I noticed when I've been here, customers are coming in happy, leaving happier. It smells amazing. You guys are doing your thing.
Thank you so much.
From the artisanal products that the people can pick up, to the chocolates, everything. You guys got all your bases covered. It's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Guys, again, thank you. Anthony, I'll see you soon, right? All right.
Our first inspirational stop brings us to Toast Performance to meet Dan Toast. Here we learned that building a high-performance exhaust system for a motorcycle is a lot like creating a custom haircut or color for a guest.
What's up, man? Hey. What's going on? How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Good to see you. Dan's my buddy Colin.
What's up, Dan? How are you, man? Thanks for having us. Okay. So I'm really excited. I don't have much experience with bikes, but walking through here and seeing how beautiful these bikes look, why don't you tell us a little bit about the bikes and what you guys really specialize in, what separates you from the pack? I'm really excited to see
Okay,
this. Cool.
yeah, come on, I'll show you some stuff. Well, this was the first Harley I really built from scratch, and as I look back now, it was more the stance and how the bike looked when you were riding it. Like anything looks good on the kickstand, but you had to be cool riding it. And it almost looks like you can't ride it, but then you ride it and it fits perfect. I think what sets this bike apart is all the curves and a lot of the stuff that's just, you don't see it in mainstream. The pipes are different, I mean, nothing here was bought, everything was handmade.
It was in your head, it's art. You made it look a certain way with the shape and the form, yet it goes down the road at like 100 miles an hour and is loud and performs. Like, you know, it's art on a lot of different levels and performance, you know, which I think is a lot of what we do too. Even though it's hair, it's like we have to make things that are art, but it's got to be functional and usable for the wearer, whoever's taking care of it, or, you know, what they want to look like on their day-to-day basis, how they dress or what have you. So
personality.
Yeah, it sounds like a stretch for motorcycles and hair or whatever, but I see it so much as the same thing, especially with the shape and the form and function aspect of it. So man, this is awesome.
All right, Dan, well, thanks for having us, man. I feel inspired by all the great work you guys do here at Toast Performance.
Cool, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, anytime.
Our final inspirational stop is the Hartford Denim Company to meet Luke and Dave, two Hartford natives who began making handmade raw denim in their parents' garage. Using antique looms and traditional methods, these two take their love of denim making to the next level.
So thanks guys so much for having us in your shop. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do with your denim. What separates your denim from denim maybe someone will buy in the mall or in the store?
Like the buttonhole stitch. Like this machine, you know, they built this machine in the 40s and 50s, and today you can get a similar machine that does that type of stitch, but it just, the quality of it just, it doesn't have that real like hand-sewn type button look. If you're gonna sit all day at a piece of equipment, it might as well be a beautiful piece of cast iron artwork made in industrial America rather than a piece of white plastic from overseas.
So it's kind of art supporting and making more art.
Yeah, and it's just surrounding yourself with beauty, because the old equipment, the lines, you know, they put care into designing something that was going to be beautiful, as well as functional, and it's kind of that has been a big inspiration for us, because, you know, we're trying to make something that is beautiful and functional, but, you know, not necessarily that it has tons of frilly details. It's just clean lines and, you know, well thought out kind of composition. These were worn by a local bike messenger.
That's awesome.
And he was one of the first guys to fully take advantage of our lifetime repair policy.
I see this.
But what was awesome for him was he usually takes him about 2 weeks to put a hole in his crotch or in his seat. And he came back after 2 months and he was like so proud of himself, and he had this huge hole in the back of the pants, and he was like, he was more proud of the pants than anything because they had withstood like his test, you know? Yeah, he had ended up getting a number of repairs on the back here. You can see.
Yeah, it just makes them look
fully
more
reinforced
awesome.
seat, and then like a bunch of patches
well, then
inside,
people come in all the time and they're like, oh, well, I don't really want those ones, I want these ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, don't we all?
Yeah.
Now get to work.
You gotta earn it.
I like that. Right.
It's cool.
We've done our part, so now it's up to you. Because essentially, to bring a pair of jeans to this point would be to destroy them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of what happens on these matte scales with these pre-washed jeans, where they don't spend as much time making them, so they don't have that ethical quandary of like ruining them immediately after they're finished. You know, it's kind of, they're still making the jeans as they're washing, whereas we put enough time and energy into each single pants that it's a completed unit, you know, once it leaves our shop, and it's ready for that next step of the wearer.
And it's what makes us want to make more. Because if someone's going to put that much time into wearing a single garment, it's like, it goes far beyond the money at that point.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, the highest compliment. You could only hope as a painter that someone would use your painting that much, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
So these jeans here, kind of a bit of an experiment. we were in an old barn factory and found a big tub of bronze powder. So we were in the back lab one night, we were waxing up some jeans, like melting it down with the heat gun and getting them. It was a pretty cool finish. And then I don't know what sparked it, but we had the idea to mix the bronze powder in with the wax and see what happened there. And it's always going to be a conversation piece. Somebody's always going to be like, what is going on here, you know?
And like for us, it's probably going to spark whatever the next thing is you feel like doing or trying, or
right.
Hey, remember the resin experiment with the bronze, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Mixing different mediums together and then just like applying it to the product and just see what happens.
Luke, Dave, thank you guys so much for inviting us into your business. We're definitely going to be using your inspiration, a little bit of ours tomorrow.
For sure.
And I'm definitely going to be picking up a pair of jeans.
Cool. I can't wait to see the rust-dyed hair.
Yeah, mine will have hair color all over them in the next year when we meet you guys.
Oh, it'll be great. Thank you so much, man.
Now that Anthony showed me all the places that inspire him in his hometown, let's sit down, put our thoughts together, and create a collection based off the inspiration of the Hartford, Connecticut area.
So from the toast performance, here's the baby. I mean, what's not inspiring about that, right?
Yeah, that's just, you know, concave and convex, all the different ways that we cut hair and elevate hair. So concave and convex, we'll definitely play with those kind of ideas and thoughts tomorrow as we're kind of figuring out what we're going to do.
So this is definitely a strong candidate. We'll definitely use these chrome bits and this little bit of curvature throughout that shape as well. All right, that brings us to our next location.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about hair color for me, I was really inspired by the Hartford Denim Company and the ability that we can maybe create some lived-in texture within that haircut and also that color. What do you think?
It could quite possibly get better and better and different looking over time as the hair, you know, fades from oxidation from the sun, or all these things that are usually so detrimental to color could actually be what makes it look beautiful in the end.
I think we'll be able to put together that whole finishing, washed in color with the jeans, tied in with that chrome and that beautiful shape of our bike. And I think our model tomorrow will have an individual cut and color.
Yeah.
And let's let this fester tonight. Because you know I'm not going to be sleeping, I'm going to be thinking about this stuff.
Yeah, right on.
Reconvene in the morning, man, and see where this goes.
Cheers.
With all of our inspirational ideas in place, it's time to go to the salon and get to work.
So I know this is looking a little bit crazy right now because we got short portions, long portions and stuff, but I really prefer to do the rest of this haircut dry. Reason being so I can kind of feel what the density of her fabric is gonna do, and I can really blend it into all the pieces that are gonna have to mold around the head shape and really make for a really beautiful head shape.
So you're gonna get the detailing in. Cool.
Yeah.
So the basic shape is in. Now we're gonna go back. I'm gonna start to color this out, add depth and movement to it, and of course, you going in there is gonna break up that color as well. So this is the perfect place. We'll get her dried really, really quickly and we'll start sectioning out for the color. Cool. So we have our oxidative dye. This is, again, our color shots mixed with processing liquid, used a little bit differently than the way you normally would, but it's gonna give us a beautiful translucent blue tone. This is our semi-permanent. In this case, we're using Paul Mitchell Inkworks. It's blue-based. We're gonna use it directly by itself. And over here, we actually went in and mixed this product with a little bit of conditioner. So you guys can see when I start to mix it, we're gonna be able to change that tone, giving us that lived-in, brighter, deeper indigo color that we've been looking for now. We also have that same semi-permanent color mixed with hairspray,
changing the delivery system, we're gonna be able to have a little bit of that spray effect there throughout too, and that's gonna give us that washed in denim feel as well. So these are the products that we're gonna be working with. We have our sectioning. I'm gonna take my jacket off and we're gonna get started.
Because it's gonna be cool not only just when it gets finished, but as she kind of shampoos and wears it, it's gonna have different tonalities start to happen as it starts to kind of wear, you know, just like that indigo releases out of the denim and it changes. Her hair is gonna become more translucent, transparent.
I'm gonna bring in our oxidative dye, and you can see that that's gonna process a wee bit different. You know, this is gonna take some time to actually start to turn into that denim-y grayish color that we're looking for. You know, I'm kind of painting and moving through it, but I'm really looking at it, saying, all right, this is gonna be here, so your eye's gonna be drawn to here already. Where do we wanna add depth? Where do we wanna add lightness? That's what hair color is. I mean, we're basically just essentially controlling where people look. You know, in this one, I don't really want them to see anything. I want them to see the whole thing. So Tara's finished. We have our blow dry finish. We got that moisture out of her hair. We can see those blue tones kind of coming together. This is my favorite part of any haircut, really. I've worked with so many amazing artists, including yourself, and I love this. We got the basic shape in, but this is nowhere near finished.
No, we have all this connection to do from, let's see, we have a pretty graphic shape, asymmetrical going on over here, so we're gonna do a little blend with the middle to some of the concave layers that I did through the top, short to long through the top, to help kind of blend this all through.
So how we can start to see again, you put in that kind of basic convex concave shape inspired by the bike, inspired by the parts that are kind of how we mold metal. How else are we using this inspiration through your technique that you're using now?
Well, more so than just seeing the concave shapes. On the outside is quite obvious, so I'm gonna go through and put a design line to kind of replicate some of those concaves that we saw like in the fender and the front of that bike. But the not so obvious are the concave shapes on the inside of the haircut, which actually make the shape for her, because I think our clients look in the mirror and they try to see an outside shape that's not quite so obvious, but that's what makes it look and feel good on their head. So that's how I'm gonna tie in those shapes that we saw, you know, on the motorcycle is kind of an obvious thing with all the concave, convex shapes. Sweet, so there she is, man. That's good.
All right, so we definitely need to get down to the makeup process here because, you know, it's amazing how all these things come together, but that's really what makes a great finish end result. So we have our shape inspired by our bikes from Toast Performance. We also have our denim lived in color inspired from our Hartford Denim Company. So now let's get a little inspiration for the makeup mid-April, and we'll have 3/4 of the way done here, buddy.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Right on. All right, Tara, you look amazing. April, you're doing a great job. Why don't you fill us in really quick?
Well, I really played up her blue eyes because they're very doll-like and beautiful. So we did some browns, and brown really complements blue eyes because it has like a little bit of a red undertone. And then we popped a little bit of that gold from the Hartford denim, you know, feel, and it really, when you pop anything in here, it really opens up the eyes even more so. So, and then we did a little bit of peach on the cheeks and the lips, and she's good to go.
So everything's come together. We got hair, makeup, fully done. Let's go take some pictures right after this. It's been an amazing time working with each and every one of you guys. Did you have fun this weekend?
Yeah, it was great. Good experience, man.
Right on.
That'll do it for this episode of Style Tramps. Our work is done, but don't forget, yours continues on. Go to facebook.com/StyleTramp and add pictures of your inspiration from our journey.